Mom of two kids. I have two kids. I have, one second, I'm just going to get this message of the screen. Yep. I'm a mom of two kids. I have a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old, much out of the crib stage. But my daughter, my first child, my daughter was a very fussy sleeper. And I have almost gone to the point of postpartum depression when I was sleep deprived. And I did not even know or was not even sensitized that sleep is going to be a thing. Color matching the nursery and just all the good things. And I was thrown off guard when I realized my life is chopped into 2 hour sleep intervals. And thanks to that experience, me and my husband both are engineers. We wore our engineering hat and started. It was not that we had a venture idea back then. It was more like an SOS need for ourselves because both were working, managing this new human. It was really very tough. And our innovations don't stop at labs. We started thinking, hey, why isn't there a crib that could sense the first signs of stirring and start rocking preemptively to help safeguard sleep? Because as new parents, I think so, even Nikki can add to this that just in time soothing is key to safeguarding sleep. If I attended to my daughter once she woke up crying, then that's it. The entire process of feeding and pacing up and down, everything was right. It just began all over again. And in those, initially at least, when you're feeding them every 2 hours and then 45 minutes of helping them go back to sleep, was really, really getting on our own health and our personal lives. So that's where there was an aha moment where we prototyped a camera and we worked on a mechanism to bounce, because that's what we do, right? Even when our kids are doing pretend play with their dolls and stuff, I see my daughter doing this with when she's doing a pretend play. And so that inspired us to design this bounce mechanism that can help babies soothe. And we have now more than 3 million hours of baby sleep recorded in Cradlewise. And these little customers of ours have certified on the bounce. They love the bounce. One thing that the kids love, the babies love, is this bounce. And Nikki, here I would like to interject. And how did you feel about the bounce, and how is Teo taking on the bounce?
He really likes it. I really love the smart notifications on the app when they notify the crib notifies you when Teo's been placed into the crib, and you can see like he's falling asleep. And I have the monitor on my app on anyway when he's about to fall asleep, but I really just love looking at the stages of him falling to sleep, and he does really love the bounce and the sound machine. The thing that sold me on the crib was everything was all built into one crib, and you can use it up to 2 years of age. I really love that, because in comparison with like the only other smart crib on the market, which is what I know of, is the snoo. And my friend who had a baby just 2 or 3 months before I had Teo, her kid has already outgrown the snoo, so it's only been 4 months or so, which is not a very long time. And so that's the thing that sold me on Cradlewise, was that you can use it up to 24 months, and the fact that the camera and the bounce and the sound machine was all built into the crib, which was like amazing. And I can just go into the app and monitor all of those things and control all of that from the app, which was amazing as well. But he has really taken to the bounce. We don't do it like at the highest setting, we do it like low or on the medium, and it usually takes him like 5 to 10 minutes to fall asleep. But I usually monitor him, and then he's out, and we just do that in tandem with his sleep sack, and he just is asleep right away, which is amazing. And it's like I can walk away. Like, we have him in the not in the nursery, we have him in our bedroom for now, but I walk away and I go about my day and do laundry or whatnot. And I get the notifications on my phone and I just check it to see if he's okay. But he's fine. He usually sleeps like, I mean, he's a great sleeper, but he usually sleeps like at least 3 to 4 hours at a time. And for a 1 month old, that's like pretty impressive. I mean, from what I've heard from my other mom friends and what I've researched online.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, no two babies are alike, but it's a great sleep win, and
Yeah.
I'm so glad that Theo loves bounce. Thanks for sharing, Nikki.
Yeah.
So, yep. So here, the core of the product is that we have a built-in monitor. That's what Nikki was mentioning, is that's all integrated. So we have a built-in monitor here. You can see on the monitor arc. You would have seen on the website and on the videos that this is a baby monitor that can sense the first signs of stirring. So what are the signs that we look for? We look for movements. Generally, when they transition to light sleep, they start moving, they start opening their eyes, so we can detect that. Their breath rate becomes slightly irregular when they transition from deep sleep to light sleep. All these early parameters help us detect wake up and start just in time the bounce and the music to help your baby go back to sleep. So this is the secret sauce, and this was the genesis of Cradlewise. So I'm going to now show the bounce. I know you all are very curious to see that. So there are two ways to start the bounce, through the app and through a gesture. So you just give it a bounce like how you would have bounced it if it was not an automatic crib. You just give it a push and then it starts bouncing. So that's the beauty, because I know we all parents are going to be hands full with the baby and you don't want to last minute search your phone. So you can just give it a bounce, and from the app you can change. I'm going to tour the app too. So right now it's set to medium intensity. As you see, it's going to slowly increase the bounce intensity and ramp up to the level that you have set to. So it's very gradual movements. There are no sudden jerky movements. It's going to increase the bounce. And now I'm going to increase the bounce to the highest intensity so that you can see till where it goes. This is the highest intensity of bounce, and you can cap it to a limit that you want. I'm going to show how you can do it through the app. So this is how the crib bounces. There are two fundamental modes of operation. There is an auto mode of operation and manual mode of operation. In auto mode, the crib is going to sense these first signs of stirring and start the bounce to safeguard sleep and stop when the baby goes back to sleep. So that's the intelligence or the intelligent mode where the crib is taking decisions on its own. In manual mode, you will be in complete control. The crib will not start on its own. If you turn it on at a particular intensity for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, that can be all configured through the app, then the crib is going to bounce for those 20 minutes at the specified intensity. There you are in complete control. So we have given that complete override for you as a parent, but there is auto mode, and I mean, like really happy to inform and that we have 90% of our users using the auto mode, because it's that just-in-time soothing that is going to help with sleep, and parents have really benefited. And I would like to hear from Nikki as to what's her favorite mode of operation.
I am definitely a huge fan of the auto mode for sure, because when I'm waking up at 3 a.m. and 4 a.m., I don't want to be controlling the crib and the density and not the density, but the mode in which how fast or slow it moves. I just want it to be on autopilot because I'm lacking sleep and I just want to go back to bed. So for those like 3 through to midnight and 6 a.m. feedings, at autopilot all all the way. And a secret sauce for me is just, I wake up, I change him, and then I give him a nice warm bottle, and then I just pop his pacifier in, swaddle him, put him in the crib, and he goes right to sleep. And as for like the notifications, I don't check the notifications when I'm sleeping in the middle of the night. I'd have, my notifications on silent. But I mean, he's right next to me for the first like 4 to 6 months of his life. So I can hear, usually he'll be whimpering or crying like a little bit, but he's a pretty good self-soother. And in combination with the bouncing, he's usually asleep within like 5 to 10 minutes.
Got it. Got it. Thanks for sharing that routine. Really helpful.
Yeah.
There is a question in the chat about notifications. If you want to answer this. Brittany is curious to know, with the phone notifications, particularly at night when parents are sleeping, do they need to leave their phone off silent or mute in order to be notified that the baby needs them?
I mean, the notifications will go to the app on your phone, and you can choose to monitor them if you wish, but personally, I don't. I have, they just show up on my phone, but I'm not like actively checking them because Teo falls asleep pretty quickly, and I know that every baby is different, but personally, I don't check them in the middle of the night. I only check them like during the day when I'm already awake and I'm out and about. Like if I go, into a different room, I'll check the notifications and just to see the status of how he's doing. And that's the beauty of the camera feature built in. You can see like it's pretty good clarity, and you can see if his eyes are open or what he's doing. And sometimes I'll be in the backyard gardening or something like that, just for like small amounts of time, and I'll watch him to see what he's doing. And that's great. And that's when the notifications come in handy, like when I'm out and about in a different room and checking my phone.
And I will say a couple things. There's a couple different ways to use the monitor. We have a always on audio monitor feature. So even if you're not on your phone, it's completely locked. You're still going to be able to hear any of that audio coming from your crib, which is a feature that I know that a lot of our parents use, and especially at nighttime where you might not have that video up all night. But you want to make sure that you hear them just in case. And then the notifications, we also have a option to select which notifications you want. So, maybe you want a notification every time the baby stirs, or maybe you want a notification just when the baby's waking up. And so you'll be able to customize that as well.
Yep. The notifications are all configurable, and you can also, if your phone is in power save mode, there are settings in your iPhone where you can say like, these still need to show up because as critical. So we can work on, if you are having any questions on that, we can always, you can approach our CX team, and Emily and her team can help you set those up. But it's very configurable. I'm going to walk you through all those settings in the app. Emily, are there any questions popping, or can I move on?
Yes, we have one about camera clarity, which I think that we can address when we go ahead and look in the app.
Yep, sure. All right, yep. So naturally transitioning to the app, I'm going to share my screen on the Zoom. Yep. You all are able to see the screen. Yep. This is the app. This is the dashboard. This is where you land on when you open the app. You'll be able to see the live video stream of the baby from the crib, and you can also audio monitor. That's what Emily was mentioning. If you just tap on the video, an audio monitoring pop-up opens up where you can turn the audio monitoring on. keep it always on. That's when, even if your phone is sleeping, you can still hear to your baby. Maybe your phone is in your pocket or when you're around. You can also switch the camera so that, because sometimes the way your crib is placed in the home, or depending on if you're right-handed or left-handed, you might just place the baby this way with the head. It doesn't matter for the detection. You can always switch the camera. So we have that feature. You can audio monitor and video stream. Some other features are like the picture-in-picture, because if you're doing some work or ordering something, you can still have one eye on the baby through the PIP mode. And what else? We have a small notification slider, which gives you immediate context, like Sam stirred and the crib started bouncing and the baby went back to sleep. So this is all that you can do. You can see a small crib icon bouncing on the screen. This is where you can control the bounce. So as I had mentioned, there is an auto mode of bounce and manual mode of bounce. And I've set the intensity to maximum right now. So you can see that the crib is bouncing currently because the camera is attached to the crib and there is no relative movement between the camera and the crib. Just by seeing the dashboard, you won't be able to make out whether the crib is bouncing or not, but the animation on the icon will help you understand if the crib is bouncing right now. And in which mode. So it's going to bounce for the next 10 minutes in manual mode. So you're going to be able to see that. For seeing the intensity, they have not yet put the intensity marker on the dashboard itself, but if you do a click on the crib icon, you should be able to see what intensity. Yes, we are revamping our UI of the dashboard, and we are going to get that out too, so that it's easy to see on the dashboard right then and there. So this is the intensity control. You can shift to auto mode. And in auto mode also, the crib is going to take the decision on its own. But if you place the baby and you switch to auto mode, but if you know that, today my baby is slightly more fussy, maybe it was vaccination day, and you need to bump up the intensity for that soothing session, you can always increase. Suppose if the auto mode has placed it to 40% kind of an intensity, but you know that today is your baby requires extra soothing, you can always bump it up, and for that particular soothing session, the intensity is going to change momentarily. So we have given all these controls. There is also a sound machine integrated into the crib. We have speaker, which is placed at the bottom of the crib here. And this speaker is using the acoustics of the entire crib, and it's a very mellow sound for your baby. So it's not here, so that it's not very direct. The speaker is at the bottom, and you can control the music from the app. So we have a sound dashboard that has few tracks that are preloaded, like a deep sleeper or a sensitive sleeper. But the beauty of Cradlewise is that as parents ourselves, we know that there's a particular kind of white noise. I don't know if you're already a second-time parent, you will know this, or you will realize once the baby is here that there's a particular kind of white noise track that works best for your baby. And there's no right or wrong answer, right? It's just personal preference or what your baby prefers. So if you can, if you hit on the plus sign, you can customize the white noise. So we have a whole white noise synthesizer built on the app. You can see here, you can cycle between white noise, pink noise, and brown noise. So just to, I know this can be a very different world for some of you, or if you have used meditation apps, you would have had what pink noise, you would have experienced what pink noise is or brown noise is. The white noise is more sharper tones of noise, versus as you go from pink to brown, they are more mellow, or they have lower frequencies, which is more bass. So these are the different colors of white noise. You can overlay a nature sound like light rain, heavy rain, ocean waves, and soft breeze, and also overlay a heartbeat. to simulate the womb environment, right? Now, if this is the track that works best, you can always say Sam nap track, right? And you can see this, and this appears on your dashboard. And now you can use this every time your baby goes back to sleep. And this control is also on the dashboard. If you can see this clef note where you can control the music, you can play pause, you can increase the volume. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off original sound because Zoom filters that. Original sound on. And please let me know if you're able to hear the white noise. So there is a white noise. I'm going to turn back on. Stop the music. Yeah. So this is regarding the sound dashboard, and I would like Nikki to come in and let us know how are you using white noise? What's your favorite configuration, and what do you think about the white noise that's integrated in the crib?
I love the white noise. Again, I mentioned that I have the crib on auto. So in combination with the bouncing, when the white noise automatically turns on, it's a pretty faint noise. And I already sleep, even before we had Teo, we sleep with a humidifier, which makes a bit of noise. And then also my husband has a CPAP machine, which also makes noise. And then we have the white noise. So all in combination, and plus we have an overhead fan. It just has like an ambient, lull noise. And we have no problems falling asleep. I would say like I'm a medium sleeper. Like I'm not like a heavy sleeper or a light sleeper. I'm like a medium, and my husband is a pretty light sleeper. And with all of those noises going on in the middle of the night, like we have no problems falling asleep. And I haven't even customized the noises, the white noises or the pink noises. I just pretty stay consistent with the ones that Cradlewise came with, and Teo has had no problems falling asleep to those. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the white noise.
Nice. Yes, I think so. White noise also helps adults sleep so much better.
Yeah.
Radhika, we have one question from Allie. Does the white noise come through the monitor, or does the monitor cancel out that crib sound? Does it filter out the noise?
It does. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, it does come through in the camera a little bit. And one of the things that I was actually surprised when using the app, I thought the bouncing would for some reason make the image bounce too in the camera, but it doesn't at all. Like it just looks like your baby is still, and the bouncing is happening at the same time, no matter what the intensity level is, which I was kind of surprised at. And it was a great surprise that like he just was the same image quality and same position throughout my entire time monitoring him always. And the white noise is like very faint. You can definitely still hear if your baby cries above whatever white, pink, brown noise you have going on in the background.
Great. Thanks, Nikki. Thanks, Nikki, for sharing that. But here I would just like to add that when we first launched, or I exactly don't have the timeline but the audio monitoring quality has significantly improved. Nikki, you just received it like 5 weeks ago, but earlier there was white noise, significant white noise that you could, I'm sure you would have read in some reviews, but the audio monitoring was also having the white noise and you could hear the baby above it. So it was slightly difficult to hear to the baby sounds, but because I was going to explain this too, but now is the point that your crib is over-the-air update enabled. What this means is that we have a bi-weekly cadence of updating the crib with new software as our algorithms improve. So we have launched noise filtering. The white noise is being filtered, and that's subdued. And now you can hear the baby much better. We actually do tests where we are having like a speech, or like we keep a mobile phone that's having an audio book, and we tried to listen to it through the audio monitor remotely, and it was quite clear. You could make out what the audiobook is reading. So it is not like 100%, but it's good enough to detect what's happening with your baby, right? If the baby's crying, or if the baby, sometimes they just make some sounds in sleep, but they're not actually waking up. So you'll be exactly able to hear to that.
Mm-hmm.
I hope if you have any follow-up question, please feel free to unmute and ask.
Radhika, I
Yeah,
think this could be.
Oh, sorry. I would say I use more, like when I'm not in the room with Teo, that I use the notifications more rather than constantly listening to the audio. Especially when it says like Teo is stirring. I usually go into the room and tend to him and just see what's going on. But yeah, I definitely would say that I use the notifications more than the audio, but that's just my personal preference.
Right.
Radhika, do you want to go ahead and talk about camera quality? Nick asked, on the topic of camera quality, one complaint that I've heard is that the camera is a little lower quality, kind of grainy compared to standard monitors. Can you talk through that?
Right. Yes. So you would have read some reviews where the camera quality was not up to par. So it's mainly that was in our Jan 2022 to May of 2022. This was a time when we were still just coming out of the supply chain crisis, chip shortages, and congestion on the ports. So last year, I think there's somebody waiting in the, yep. So we had our lens vendor whom we had to switch out because he was not operating anymore. So we had to use a lens which was not up to the mark, or like was not exact specification. And we had to fulfill these cribs because babies are going to come when they're going to come. And so we had to take that call. So the reason was not the camera quality, it was the lens that was in our Jan 2022 to May 22 deliveries. So since then, I mean, things have become more sane on supply chain end. We redesigned the lens and the lens mold with the new vendor. So now we don't have any issues, and all those parents who complained, we also replaced those monitor arcs for them. So right now we have the right fitting lens, and this is a 720p camera. So it is a HD camera. You should not have any grainy effect when you see from the app. And I would like, there is definitely an angle because the way the crib is constructed, right? Because the monitor arc is here and the field of vision is like this. So if you can see right now also, you will see the head of the baby at an angle, not like an overhead camera. If you had a normal baby monitor, like a cantilever on the crib, definitely that gives you a straight view. Here there is a slight slant view. So definitely that, because of the way the crib is designed, it does have that. But I would, like, honestly, Nikki, because you're just 5 weeks into using the crib, you have the latest model, you can add to your experience.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that question again?
Yeah, the camera quality, what do you feel about it? Because you're like just 5 weeks into, so you have the latest model of the crib and the camera unit. So would like to hear, what do you feel about the camera quality?
For me personally, my experience with the camera quality, I mean, I've seen my friends who use different cameras or baby monitors that are sold separately outside of the crib. And I feel like that's pretty comparable quality. And just not having the hassle of like adjusting the camera, that's sold separately in different positions, or having to worry about like when Teo gets older, him like messing with the crib or fidgeting with it, or dealing like with wires and stuff. That gives me peace of mind that it's just so nice to have the camera, the noise machine, and the crib all in one, and getting notifications sent to my phone. So but it's not like super, like my camera quality doesn't have to be super high res HD for what I need. And that's to know that like if my baby is awake, or if he's stirring, or just like seeing if his eyes are open, as long as I can see that. And I know like when he wakes up, that gives me peace of mind. So I personally don't feel like I have to have HD quality in order to like be at ease that my baby is sleeping okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that perspective.
Yeah.
Emily, I see some follow-up questions. Because I'm like, are there any? Yeah.
Yes. So Brittany actually asked about recommendations for travel cribs, just understanding that there is that bounce. I can answer this one. For me, my two kids, I actually use Snoo for both of them. There's so many things about it that drove me crazy. There's of course things that I liked as well, but I actually joined Cradlewise because Radhika had fixed so many of the things that I wish I could have. But I think with this, the approach that Cradlewise takes in terms of soothing is so low intervention. That bouncing is going to stop as soon as they settle down, they go to sleep. And so it's not something that we really hear that our babies become dependent on. And so because of that, it really lends babies to be able to, translate easily to travel or to daycare, naps, different things, because the soothing aspects of the cradle are really building a foundation for longer stretches of sleep, not really like forcing them back to sleep. It's really teaching them. So, yeah, I personally had the Lotus travel crib and I loved it, but that's just me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, as Emily mentioned, right, just reiterating that if in auto mode, the crib is going to bounce only when needed. And if not for the crib, you would have picked up the baby and maybe bounced or soothed the baby back to sleep. So the crib is exactly imitating that care that you as a parent would have done. So it's very minimalist. And as parents ourselves, we really understand that how important it is to instill those sleep habits from day one. And that's why we have kept a very minimalist approach to bounce. I'm also going to talk about a setting. There are some blogs and stuff, product blogs on our website. So you can browse through that. We have a sensitivity setting that you can tone down as you know when your baby is able to self-soothe. So what this setting means is that how often and how much the crib is going to respond when your baby fusses. So if you're going through a 3-month or a 4-month sleep regression, you would want to bump up the sensitivity to the highest level, and the crib is going to bounce at every small movement of the baby, right? That's when they need that extra soothing to complete their nap, as they sometimes wake up in 20 minutes, and that's one of the reasons why they will end up being cranky. Around 9 months, 10 months, and every baby is different here, like around 1 year, when you know that the baby is tossing and turning in sleep, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're waking up, you can slowly turn down the sensitivity, and the crib is going to give more opportunity for the baby to move around. So we have a very customizable crib because every baby is different, right? And every journey is different. I hope that answers your question. All right. In the interest of time, I'm just going to move through the other features on the app. There is a sleep dashboard where you can see how sleep map of your baby for that particular day, and then you can scroll down to see any such sleep dashboard from the past. So here, if you can see, you can see 6 p.m. of Thursday, the previous day to today, and the naps that your baby is taking. So suppose this is not real baby, so this is like 4:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. You're going to see that sleep nap, and you can see when the baby was awake, when did the crib initiate the soothing with a pink dot on the side. So you'll be able to see what happened during the day, and this is the marker which is at the current point of time, and you can always move this to see it is 6:23 a.m. when the nap ended. The nap started at 4:14 a.m. So you can zoom onto any sleep slot and check on the data. So this is there on the sleep dashboard. You'll be able to see the total hours slept, how much time the baby was awake, and how many times did the crib help soothe the baby back to sleep. And you can also share it with your friends and family. You can go scroll down and you can go back to any date in time and see how the baby slept. So this is the Sleep Insights tab. We are constantly improving this and would love to hear your feedback. If you think that there's something that we could add, and we have a very active product team and a design team that would love to do calls with you. So we invite parents to co-create because we are learning, right? As we work with parents and with different babies, what are your needs? Anything that you would like to add, Nikki? Are you using the Sleep Insights?
I would say probably that this is the feature that I don't use as much. And thank you I'm so glad that I joined this demo, because there are a couple of things that I didn't know that I could do in the app as well. So I'm learning along with you. I've just been kind of like in the newborn fog for the past month. So like I just
Totally.
I want to use, the camera, the sound machine, and then like I haven't like gone really, really deep into the app yet. So this has been great. I do toggle through it occasionally to see how many hours of like sleep that he got the previous night. I'm just looking back in my log from like Sunday, and that was like 8 hours of sleep, which is like really impressive, and a total of 4 snooze and an hour and a half awake time. So that was like a really good day in comparison to like a day where we only had like 4.5 hours of sleep. Yeah, I do like this tab. I use the camera in the video a lot too, to send pictures to my family of like poses that he does in his crib that are like funny. He likes to sleep with his legs up in the air, so like I'll take a quick picture and I'll send it to my family, and they love those updates. So but yeah, I do like this feature a lot, and I've noticed that it's been constantly improved, and I've been getting app updates, which I really appreciate.
Great. Thanks for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So since you already mentioned that, how you're sharing this newborn phase, and you're like, with your family, we have something very interesting in the app. We call it the caregiver team. You could add both side parents, any other caregivers, or maybe even your nanny into this app, where you can give different permissions, like by default, both the partners are admin, but you can always add your parents and give them view-only access and share that link. It is just a one-time usage link that goes out only if you share it with that person. Even if I want to access, I won't be able to do that. So you can select a guardian and a view only and generate the link and share it with your family. And this is the best part of Cradlewise. When we launched it during the pandemic, and nobody was going anywhere. For such a big life event, you were all by yourself, and we had parents even overseas, grandparents even overseas, connecting with their grandchildren through this caregiver functionality. So yeah, I mean, I personally love this because I grew up with my grandparents, and I wish, the kids get, like, we have had really great stories where grandparents have like just watched them, like they get a notification that the baby is placed in the crib, and that's when they actually go and see the app. I don't know, Nikki, are you using this? I know you're just 5 weeks into it, and we are like, asking you, did you use that? Did you use this?
My in-laws and my mom are very technically challenged, so we we don't use this feature. Once I see them again and I can show them how to do it on their phone, then I could enable this feature, but I have to physically be with them to show them how to install the app and monitor and look at notifications. So I'm not utilizing this feature yet, unfortunately.
Got it. One at a time. Yep. So we also a lot of parents use the app during the night, because during the day you're awake and you can hear the baby, but during the night and you don't want to stare at a bright screen. So this was one of the requests from our community, and we launched this last year. It has a dark mode too, so that at 3 a.m. in the morning you're not staring at a very bright screen. So you can always enable the dark mode, and we have our awesome design team who has not just made it black and white, because that too is very stark. We have used very mellow colors that can be easy on your eyes during the night usage. So we have a dark mode in the app. You can also sync it with your system settings, like at 6 p.m. or whatever your phone is set to. So you can always turn that on. Right now it's day, so it's switched back to light mode. We also have a notifications tab, which Nikki was mentioning, where there's a log of all the notifications. So maybe stirred and maybe slept. And so sometimes we have parents just scrolling through that when they are not there, and when you have a caregiver at home, just to see through, okay, what happened, when did the baby sleep. So we have the baby alerts tab. Yep, I think so. I have talked through most of the features. Emily, anything that you want to add to the app?
I think that's it on the app side.
Yeah. All right. So I will just stop the share, but if there's anything you want me to zoom on specifically, please let me know. I'm happy to do that. All right. Okay. Emily, I'm going to just now show the internals of the crib, the linen, how to convert it from bassinet to the crib mode. I'll show you that every part of the crib can be removed and washed. So I'm going to show you all the linen, and then we'll move to the certifications. I'm just going to set my phone so that I can use a stand to show you the internals. Yep.
Of course. While she does that, is there any other questions that Nikki or I can help answer? Yeah, Nick, hi.
Just a question regarding security, because this is a baby monitor and this is physically interacting with the baby. What has Cradlewise done to really ensure the security and encryption of your application and the product itself?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to let Radhika speak about that. Sorry, Radhika, I'm passing it back to you.
Yeah. Just a moment, Nick.
Yes,
I'm just going to set
she's the
this up.
expert here.
Yeah, no worries. Take your time.
Oops, what happened? This is showing. Yep. Yes, Nick, I think so. I would have been paranoid about that too. So there is both security and privacy. So I know your question is on security. So we have end-to-end encryption on the app, and we have a login and all of that basic, all the hygiene on encryption. We have all the data on AWS servers, and they are all located here in the US. So that way you can be ensured that we don't have any it's not going outside of the US. And in terms of privacy, because the way the crib is constructed, the camera can only look into the rectangle of the crib. So it's not seeing most of the cantilever cameras, they get the full view of the room, and it's actually very difficult to, redact other parts of the room in terms of the tech. But since we only see the internals of the crib, we are just looking at the baby, and on the sounds, right? This is our promise, and we also have it in our privacy policy. We do listen to the cries, but we don't store the clip on the cloud. Only the signature of the cry is stored. It is more on the technical side. It's not actually the sound, it's just the signature of the cry, because that we use for learning from the cry sounds. That is the baby crying, and do we need the soothing? So that's on the privacy side. On the security side, we have end-to-end encryption, and we have ensured that it's completely secure to use the product. Yep. Thank you. All right. Let me move on to Emily. You want to pin this tab?
You got it.
Yep. So let me get the baby out. So you are able to see, right? It's clear. Is it clear? Or should I? Yep. So you can see that the space that the crib has, it's a typical mini crib size. It's not a full-size crib. It's a mini crib size for space-conscious homes. So it can nicely fit between your wardrobe and your bed in the master bedroom, and also when you transition the baby to their own nursery. So this is the bassinet mode right now at 6 months, or when the baby is able to push the arms, push the shoulders up on its arms, you need to transition from bassinet to the crib mode. So I'm now going to show, I'll remove the mattress. I'm going to show the construction of the mattress too in a bit. You have a bassinet mesh. There is a Velcro here. You can easily remove the Velcro and convert it from bassinet to a crib. So this is a bassinet mesh. This peels off. You can wash this in a washing machine. And then there is an insert here. It's a bassinet board. You can just remove this, place it out. And that's it. The same mattress goes in, and you can convert it into a crib. That's it. It's going to take you hardly 5 minutes to do this at 6 months. Now, even the crib mesh is completely, you can remove it. There's a zipper here. I don't think you can see that exactly, but there's a zipper here. And you can see from the other video that this entire thing comes out, because since this product is going to be used for almost 2 years, you would want to keep it clean and neat, because it's very dynamic with babies. So you can remove that and you wash it in your washer too. So that's how the crib is constructed. So that's the crib mode. Regarding the mattress, so the mattress, we provide a mattress, 2 fitted sheets, and a mattress cover with the product. We have a fitted sheet that peels off. So this is the slightly older design. We have a zippable fitted sheet right now. I have to get that new mattress. And then there is a mattress cover. It's lightly quilted. As you can see, we have a quilt here. Both the mattress cover and the fitted sheet are completely waterproof. They're made of 100% cotton. and we have a mattress that is all natural materials. There is rubber latex, then there is a sandwich of coconut coir, and there is a ABS sheet for it to give a nice fitting within the crib, because the sides are mesh. We want to ensure that the mattress fits on all the 4 sides. So everything is biodegradable, and the ABS sheet is recyclable, because most of the baby beds, they use polyurethane foam, and they just end up in landfill. So we were very particular about the mattress, because whatever said and done, the baby's going to sleep on this for 18 hours. The entire crib is Green Guard Gold certified. So what that means is we have tested the crib for 20,000 chemicals, which generally emanate from such products. For example, your bed, your sofas, all our products, the indoor products, they off gas. And you won't believe our indoor air is more polluted than the outside air. So as a baby company, that's the last thing we wanted to do, add one more product that is having, emitting VOCs. So Green Guard Gold is like an optional certification. We have gone one step ahead and ensured that the entire crib, not only the mattress, the entire crib is Green Guard Gold certified. And since we are talking about certifications, it's a wild world, right? I mean, I think so you guys would have already read through a lot of blogs and stuff, but I can educate a little bit on what to look in terms of certifications. So there are mandatory certifications for infant cribs, bassinets, and monitors. They are laid out by Consumer Product Safety Commission, and they themselves don't do these tests. They have accredited labs. You can go to them and get the crib certified, and you can then produce a certificate to CPSC. So we have certifications for infant cribs, bassinets, and baby monitor. We are also JPMA certified. JPMA is a Juvenile Products Manufacturers Association. They also comply to CPSC standards, but they are very product oriented, in the sense that not only these things, what else is required, right? Like, for example, CP65, which is California Prop 65. The California especially has certification requirements. If you are having any material that's cancer causing, for example, lead, phthalates, BPA, then you have to declare it up and upfront on the box itself that there is any of these chemicals in packaging or any parts of the product. So every small part of the product is chipped off and tested in the lab for CP6. So we qualify CP65. And also there's a mandatory certification for electronic products. It's FCC certification. So all the electronics in the product is FCC certified. So we have gone above and beyond to ensure that the product is safe. Yep. Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Nick. Yep. Any questions? I'm like you guys, I have done so much of studies on the certifications that I'm almost can answer anything specific.
Ali is asking about suffocation hazards in the mattress.
Right. So as per American Association of Pediatrics, right, you need to have a firm and a flat mattress, an open view of the baby. You should not have any other soft items. I mean, these are the typical guidelines on safe sleep. So the suffocation hazard wise, we follow all these guidelines. We don't claim that our mattress is breathable because we have a waterproof sheet, and there is no breathability standard that you can qualify or say that that my mattress is breathable. So we don't claim any breathability in the mattress, but we follow all the requirements. For example, since we are talking about that, so the mattress, this is one of the questions we get from parents, that it's such an expensive product, why is the mattress so thin? This is a requirement from the certifications. The mattress for a non-rigid crib, because the mesh is a soft mesh. It is classified as a non-rigid crib. The cribs that with the slats, they are classified as rigid cribs because the sides are firm. So for non-rigid cribs, you cannot have a mattress more than 1.5 inches thick, because what will happen is your baby could wedge between the blocky mattress and the soft side, right? So we follow all those specifications on these are the suffocation hazards actually. So we recommend, and it's actually mandatory for you to use only the mattress that's provided with Cradlewise and not replaced with any other standard mattresses. So these are, I think, so some basic hygiene. And here actually, I would like, Nikki, how did you feel? Did you feel comfortable placing? You said the moment you came home, you placed your newborn in the crib. So I know it's a lot of trust that goes in doing that. How comfortable do you feel with the safety?
I was very comfortable because I pre-ordered our crib like 3 months in advance of Teo being born. So we got it in April, and he was born in the middle of June, I think, or actually maybe it was the end of March or beginning of April we got it. Partially which because I wanted to demo the crib for my friends at my baby shower. I wanted to show it off and show them, like, because I had a few expecting friends who were coming to my baby shower, so I wanted to show it off. So I had a lot of time to test it out, go through the app, toggle through all the features, and really, set it up the way that I wanted to inside our bedroom. And I'm an interior designer, so specs are really important to me, and like egress throughout the crib and everything had to be like exactly right in the environment before bringing the baby home. So it was super, super helpful being able to like just have time to absorb all of the features and have peace of mind. And so when I was very sleep deprived when I came home from the hospital, because I had been up for like 3 days basically. So I had like just peace of mind just putting him automatically in the crib, because I had already like vetted everything and just troubleshot a lot of stuff that I might have like had questions about if I had gotten the crib like when I was in my sleep deprived mode, like if I had gotten it after he was born. So I felt really comfortable placing him in it like as soon as we got home, and I just passed out when I got home, and so did he.
Right. Actually, I did not know that you're an interior designer. If you have passed your interior design test, I think so.
Yeah.
I take that as a moment of pride.
Aesthetics are very, very important to me. I am in workplace interior design, so and specs are really important to me too. So we have to go through all the certifications when designing a workspace, and so all of those are really important to me. So I went through all of those things prior to Teo coming home, and now that like we're in newborn phase, I just it's on autopilot now. I just place him in the crib, I walk away, I like do whatever I need to do. It's funny, I have like 3 different places in the house where I can like set him down, because he's still like in the very sleepy mode. He sleeps like pretty much 75 to 85% of the day, and his wake windows are only like 20 to 30 minutes at a time. So it's funny, I just have like multiple places where I can set him down and like do laundry or wash bottles or whatnot. And the Cradlewise is definitely the number one place where I sit him down. But it's been great. My experience has been wonderful thus far.
Thanks, Nikki. Yep, Emily, we have any follow-up questions?
Yeah, Evelyn is asking about the sleep scheduler in the app, and if that's something that is going to be coming soon.
Oh yes. So we do have it mentioned on our roadmap on the sleep scheduler. It's not coming up in 2023 for sure. But yes, I mean, the concept is that every month you'll realize that you have a very specific sleep schedule. Like my daughter had like 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. nap was there, and then she had after bath in the morning she used to go again down from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So we want parents to to input their preferences of naps or their understanding of the baby into the app, so that acts as a guidance for our learning. And this would be similar to the sleep insights tab that you saw, where you could just move the marker and say, here, the 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. is nap time. So do your best to help the baby go back to be asleep, because when they follow those naps, and then everything is perfect, right? Because you don't want the nap to shift and go closer to the nighttime sleep, then they are going to resist going to sleep in the night. So we want to overlay a sleep scheduler, which helps us with better prediction. But this is not going to happen in 2023, honestly, and it's going to be in 2024. We can update you on the timelines. But I'm glad. I mean, I have never heard this question. So who asked it?
Evelyn, thank you for
Evelyn.
asking.
Thanks for asking, Evelyn. And it looks like you've read a lot about this. Yep. Any last questions? I know we are about time, and anything else that pops up in your mind, please. I know it was so dense, so if you have any follow-up questions, please write us to support@cradlewise.com. Emily and her team, they're awesome. I mean, I don't know if you have, even it's obviously I'm biased and Emily's biased, but I can tell you that's one thing that we want to do is being there as parents is not leave you high and dry. If you have a problem, we are not 100%. We are a baby company, no pun intended, but we do respond. We help you out with the settings. We work very closely with our parents. In fact, we have a product manager doing calls on, hey, we're thinking of this new UI. What do you think? So we do all of that. And so we invite you to co-create with us, and please write a mail to support@Cradlewise, and we would involve you any betas or any product discussions that we would like to do with you.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you to everybody who joined. You can always email us at support@cradlewise.com. You can also chat with us on our website at cradlewise.com. We're here to help. And we're finishing up July 31st is the end of our summer sleep sale. So right now we're offering $200 off of the regular price. So just have to plug that as well, just in case you are looking to purchase here in this weekend. So.
Yeah, great. And thank you so much, Nikki. I know how precious your time is, so I'm really thankful and hope you get more restful nights.
No problem. Thank you for making such a great product. I'm a huge fan.
Thank you. All right. Have a great weekend.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.